Guys, Eternal Rookie Crafts is back with yet another cosplay build. This July edition is focused on DreamCon, simple props, and big payoffs. Stick around to see how I built my Thragg X Battle Beast cosplay for DreamCon Invincible Meetup. As always, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe if you haven't, and let me know what you want to see next. If you're interested in this cosplay build and other future cosplay builds, make sure that you subscribe. I also have my Jabber cosplay build from a few months ago, as far as people reaching out and telling me what they did with it and different alterations that they made to make their own Jabber cosplay. And I actually had a few Jabber cosplayers show up at DreamCon letting me know that they seen my video and that it was an inspiration. And I have a few comments under the video right now of people talking about how they're using this for their next con. So I'm hoping that this Thragg cosplay will be a similar turnout, and we're still looking to build this community from the ground up. Let's get into this. This tutorial is actually going to be a quick and simple one. I've focused on making alterations rather than building everything from scratch. This channel has a huge focus on simplicity, budgeting, and authenticity. First thing I did was find parts on Amazon thrift stores, or lucky for me, in my old cosplay storage. And I found things that looked similar to what Thragg had, and I wanted to do the version where he's wearing the pelt. So I know I had to build that from scratch, and I had already done a similar alteration to make a cosplay. So I figured I would just go back to that one. And if you don't know, that is my Black Panther Bass Chosen cosplay from Marvel Rivals. So I pretty much started the same with that. This Amazon prop head that looks like King from Tekken was an easy alteration. I bought it, used plastic dip, gesso, and paint to recreate a version of Battle Beast's face. Actually, it came out a lot better than I expected. I'm not any form of an artist, so I don't typically try to draw faces or anything. But I think this one came out pretty good. The fur, a lot of it I had lying around already from cosplays I attempted in the past. And then I bought this bundle from Amazon to kind of covering up the back of the tiger head that sits on the fur. But I ran out of time. I didn't get a chance to cover that up. So you'll see that in the videos, but no one really noticed or cared because it was such a huge hit having the whole ensemble together. So today we're focusing on altering this head, and I'll show you exactly how I was able to turn this in just 13 hours. I was able to turn this into a pretty good replica. Not to mention the 13 hours is including waiting 30 minutes in between layers of plastic dip and gesso for it to dry so I can apply the next layer. So it's really a really quick build, a simple one, and a very cheap one. I wanted to make sure that this version of Battle Beast looked really vicious, as Battle Beast typically does. So what I chose to do was to get my foam clay, and I kind of structured my own teeth for him and let those dry. Once the teeth was partially dry, I then went back and made sure that they were still the right shape I wanted. I added any extra foam clay to kind of round them out to make them look more like teeth, because in the middle you'll see that they started to kind of stretch, and you'll see that the weight of the bottom of the tooth was kind of making it thinner in the middle. So I just added some more before it dried to make sure that I can even that out. It came out pretty well. For the paint job, I did layers. I used white paint after using my plastic dip, multiple layers, I think 3 layers. And then the gesso, I used 4 layers. And then for paint, I just used white for the head. And then for the eyes, I used black first, 2 layers. And then I used the orange 2 layers to make sure that it was full enough. And then I put a black dot in the middle, 2 layers. After that, I sealed it with acrylic paint sealer, the spray kind. I used matte because I didn't want it to be too shiny. And it actually came out really well on the eyes. They still look pretty shiny and lifelike, which is really cool. I actually used a glow in the dark paint. Doesn't glow that well unless you're at a rave or you have a black light, but here's an image of that. A lot of people thought that was really cool. I know I did. When it comes to the plastic dip, as well as the gesso and the paint, I use the crosshatch method where you do all of your strokes in the same direction and then you do it in a 90-degree angle, the next layer, and then you go back to the first angle for the next layer. Then the fourth layer is 90 degrees again. So it's all perpendicular to each other. And that really fills in the layers. So anything you missed, and it actually makes it look a little more smooth. You don't see those strokes once it dries. And I did that for every layer, and I did that for paint, gesso, plastic dip. I think that really helped a lot. I'm hoping that this helps a lot of people upgrade their Thragg. I've seen a lot of Thragg cosplays. A huge thing that happened was when I went to the the Invincible Meetup, there were a lot of Thraggs, but I got a ton of attention because only 2 others had Battle Beasts, and mine looked the most Battle Beast like. So everyone wanted to know how I did it, how long did it take, and obviously they wanted a lot of pictures and videos with me. So if you're looking to, maybe have a few meetups where you can be the life of the meetup, it's not a bad idea to make a prop such as this one. It was very cheap. It was pretty quick in terms of making a prop, and the payoff was massive. If you like this video or any of my other cosplay builds, make sure that you subscribe for more. This is only the beginning. As you know, I'm a rookie, and this page is for anyone who does not, who is not a perfectionist. For anyone who's not a perfectionist. If you're a perfectionist, I probably would drive you crazy. But if you're someone who just wants to cosplay, don't have a ton of money, but really want something that pays off in the long run, this is the channel for you. Thanks again to everyone who stuck through to the end. Hope to see some of you at the next Invincible meetup or the Viltrumite meetup. And I hope to see more Battle Beasts with these Thraggs. Thanks, everyone.